Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Autastic, your comedian's guide to autism. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Kirk Smith, and my co-host and friend,
Graham K. Hello, everybody. This is take 3 of this episode. Kirk and I recorded this almost a week ago, and then it was my turn to edit, and I promptly recorded it on the recorder.
in person, so there was no edits.
And I walked over to my computer and I deleted it. I don't know why I did that.
I think it's because you're trying to get me to kill you, and it's working. I was close.
Yeah. Well, I just recorded this with Kirk. He had to come. He took a bike over. And,
He's got a busy day. Flies out in the morning at 6 in the morning. He squeezed this in, but he'll be happy when he finds out I deleted this.
I deleted it immediately. I deleted it immediately.
It's terrible.
I got confused. I deleted the wrong file. I apologize, Kirk. I'm so sorry.
I like how you're apologizing.
Kirk was messaging me. He was like, "You should post it. You should post it, man. Post it." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that when I get back." And then I got back and I was like, "Oh, I remember I deleted this." Kirk is not going to be happy when I tell him. And now we're on the phone. Kirk is in Atlanta in some days in, I assume. And
Candlewood Sweets.
Oh my God, I can smell it. Oh, I can smell the candle.
The suite is bigger than my actual suite that I live in, but yeah, it's very nice in Atlanta.
Is it? Is it bigger than your?
No,
you have a big apartment.
It's about the same size though. It's got a separate bedroom. It's a suite.
Wow.
Candlewood Suites is like a chain for like a lot of like
divorced dads.
Probably sad man. But other
Yes.
Working men who are like electricians in town. So there's like a little kitchen. There's like a little space. It's not for businessmen. It's for like, working. There's always like electrical guys and like, oh, we're in town to fix the I don't know what. So yeah, that's perfect for me, bro. I am, if not anything, a blue collar guy. Yes. Blue collar.
Yeah, you don't have to be a blue collar guy, but you just are. You have a master's degree. I always forget you have a master's degree.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not as dumb as I look. But
I know it's crazy.
And whenever your dad's like, no, he's not. He's actually pretty smart. You're like, he is.
I didn't say he is. I said no, he's not.
My dad thinks you're smart. I don't know why. I know you. I'm like, okay, well.
No, you're sneaky smart.
It's funny. I really respect men who work, and so I really like working class. I like it all. I like the trades, electrician, plumber. You're contributing something. You're doing something.
What about women?
I like women. I like women who work too. Yeah, you're contributing something. Nurses, doctors. I mean, female nurses, doctors. You don't see a lot of in the trades, construction, but you see a few in New York.
No.
Yeah, see a few Latinas and Italian girls.
That's true. They whistle at me.
What's that?
They whistle at me.
He's a fancy boy.
I say that hurts.
I bet he's really good at decorating his apartment. He is actually really good.
That is true. I am a fancy boy.
I bet he dresses really nice. Has good taste in clothes. That's also true.
That's also true. I'll tell you who's not a fancy boy, who is a working man's man, is my brother.
Ooh, that's true.
Peter K.
Janitorial, that's working man stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rides the bus. Walmart jeans. He's ready to roll, baby.
He does. He really has Walmart jeans, rides the bus, and is a custodial engineer. He's just the man. He is just always on time, always solid, and I'm the opposite. Never on time, not solid.
Deleting files, apologizing on air, so I have to forgive you.
That's right.
Strong move.
That's very strong, yeah. I'm just a fancy boy with my fancy jeans, deleting files. Peter would never delete the file. He'd be like, check. You have to check. Graham, you have to check. We have to check. He's like very good at that. He has a lot of the things I don't have.
Together,
Dignity.
You're a complete man. Dignity.
Yes. Yes.
Now, how was the latest Peter show that you did, the latest one-man show.
Pete and Me.
Yes.
Pete and Me is my off-Broadway show. Is I'm not going to say a rip-roaring success, but I will say a success.
That's great.
The shows have been really good. I think it's a really good show. I think it's my best work I've done. I've had crowds come.
You should
every
delete
night.
it.
Can't delete it. It's live.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah. No. That's fair. Yeah, I did manage to have the recording of the show, though. I
Good.
have a recording of the show. If you want to listen to it, did not delete it. It's on my hard drive.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, and yeah. Anyway, so it's been going great. Had some pals come out, and that it feels really good. And Peter, people always ask me, does Peter know about the show? Oh, he knows about the show.
He's in it.
Pete, he loves the show. He calls in every other show, and I put him on speaker, and he talks to the audience. He loves being the center of attention. He loves that I'm talking about him.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's a big star. Even when we were kids, like weddings and stuff, he always loved going up and talking at the podium.
Really?
And yeah, he doesn't know what to say when he gets there, but he loves.
He likes the idea of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. So yeah, he's the show's about Peter is going great. He loves the show. He's doing well. I love sharing because I play a lot of voicemails of my brother. I love people getting to know my brother. He's like the sweetest man in the world. And I'm proud of him. And I had some autistic listeners come out to the show.
Ooh.
Yeah. My old friends John and Annika. They came out to the show last night. They're I haven't seen them in 10 years, but they're like, we listen to the show all the time. We listen to Autastic. We know you and Kirk, I feel like. So it's
nice.
It's kind of interesting when you think about that.
It's almost like we shouldn't delete these things, that they do get listened to. All right, that was the last jab.
I mean, that's a theory, Kirk. That's a wild theory.
Just a little insight into who I am. I was like, don't text angry. Don't text angry. I was gonna fire off a real dad one, like a real dad text.
What were you gonna say? I don't think you've ever been like, you've been mad at me, but you always keep it in. I would have scared me if you had if you were fired off an angry one. What would you have said?
I would have tried to make you understand that I'm also busy, because you always go, I'm really busy. I'm also at a festival. I also have a lot happening.
I know.
I also
True.
sacrificed to come down to
I know.
I'm not.
I'm so. I know.
I would have
You're right.
I would have laid on the guilt. But we all make mistakes. It happens. I know I eat into the microphone that slowly drives you insane too.
Yeah, it doesn't quite compare to deleting it, but that's fair.
But no, that's great. How many of these shows do you have left?
I got 3 more big shows.
Okay.
The October 12, 13, and 14. If you're in the New York area, come on down. You can buy tickets now with the promo code PETE for half-price tickets. So you should do that ASAP. We still have some seats left. It's a small theater, but there are still some seats left. And you can get those tickets. There's a link to the Tiki Wikis on my Instagram, on my bio. You can also just go to grahamk.com if you don't have Instagram. There's links to my Tiki Wikis there. And, promo code Pete. Kirk, how's it going? How's JJ doing?
He's doing good. We the job's been pushed back again, which is very frustrating. I know we talked about this off and on every other week, but we've got a job placement center for him, a place where the work is going to take place, but the actual physical work has not started. So, yeah, do not despise small beginnings, because the Lord is happy the work has begun. But
what?
It is not actually.
Said that?
Pardon?
Who?
That's a Bible verse. I always sneak in Bible verses.
That De Niro?
To see if you recognize him. Yeah, De Niro, Old
Larry
Testament.
Flint said that. Anyway,
very obscure prophets you're naming there.
Yeah, Larry Flint. The Book of 69.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Okay, take it easy. Take it easy.
What? What?
So yeah.
But yeah, it's baby steps, Kirk.
Yeah.
And you have to.
My buddy Zach.
I'm
said
proud
that
of you. It
expression
would not have
about him.
happened had he not had an active parent pushing.
Yeah, I feel like that part never ends. That part never ends, and so.
But you did it.
We're doing it.
Listen. I mean, honestly, he wasn't ready 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's probably true.
He's way more capable.
Yeah.
Now, after therapy for a couple extra years of therapy, hormones have calmed down. He likes waterfalls. He's a good little hiker. He's more. He can use the pecs. He knows when you're coming. The calendar. He's like a better communicator now.
I booked another. Great communicator, but he's trying. He's trying.
He's a better communicator, and he is trying.
Yeah, we booked another trip coming out there beginning of December for his birthday, and I think his grandparents are going to come out. So it'll be his first visit from my side of the family for, some time, at least a year. So that's exciting. And, I should say my side of the family. Yeah, my side. Yeah, that's right, because he did have he did have a cousin visit him this year from his mom's side. So
who passed away, right?
Not that guy. Lorena, his mom, her mom had 11 brothers and sisters, so they are spread far and wide. There's a lot of them.
Wow.
That being said,
Wow.
they don't come visit very much. But the one who came to visit him a lot, he did pass. But there was another cousin. I guess it'd be a first cousin of the guy who came. So it'd be JJ's second cousin who comes once in a while, once a year maybe, and so
That's nice.
yeah.
Your second cousin coming? That's like, I don't
Yeah.
know. There's no
Yeah.
obligation for them to do that.
No.
Good for them.
No, of course
Yeah.
not.
That's really nice.
So yeah, we'll do a little Christmas celebration, a little birthday, trips to IKEA.
When's his birthday?
December 2nd. December 2nd.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
he'll be 25. Man,
Oh my God.
I know. I can't believe my kids are
Oh my
25 and
God.
26. It's insane, dude. Insane.
That shook me.
Yeah.
Kirk, that shook me to my core. I remember when he was like 17 when we started
Yeah.
this podcast.
It's crazy.
Oh no. What have I done with my life?
Well, now I feel
Anyway,
bad for having made fun of you because now I feel like you should be forgetting deleting things. You have Alzheimer's. You're old.
Dude, I might.
I should
really
give you a
might.
pass.
When I used to live with Dave Waite in L.A. when we started
The
this
bro
podcast,
house pays $600 rent. Crazy place.
400. He would always be like,
400. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, trust me, I clean that place every day.
You paid for it in sadness, though. That place was sad
Oh,
and filthy,
disgusting.
covered in hair.
It was. We had 2 bathrooms. Everyone used mine because I cleaned mine. Put it that way. But anyway, my
when you
memory
stayed
is
with Dave
so
White,
bad, and I don't know if it has to do with any one of my myriad of disabilities, but I can't remember anything. I just can't. And Dave Waite would
remember your
always be
set
like,
somehow. Continue.
I do the whole thing. It's about me. No, but I can't remember like people's names or faces or anything. And
Things you don't care about. Yeah, podcast. Yeah.
No,
I get it.
I care about these things. I care about this podcast. I love this podcast. I don't. I also took. I know that I didn't come to do it, but I was having a busy day, and I fit in the
You
podcast
did too.
And then
It was a waste of your time,
immediately
too.
deleted it. Yeah.
All right, continue.
Yeah.
What do you say with Dave White?
He would just always be like, "Man, you got to get that checked out." And I just
Dave White, by the way, if you don't know who that is, the comic. He looks like he's a
Yeah.
cross between a truck driver who also runs a terrible 7-Eleven. Like
a
he's
chicken
like-
coop. Yeah.
What's that?
He looks like he has a 7-Eleven, and the eggs he sells, he breeds the chickens.
Yes, but he's also a single man, so
Yeah.
nothing's clean or put together or
No.
matching or
No,
wears
but
a
he's so funny.
filthy hat. He's one of the
Yeah.
guys when people go, comedy's fair. If you're funny enough, he'll come around. I'm like, I don't know, bro. He's pretty darn funny. That's one of the funniest guys.
He's so funny. He just doesn't have the other half.
The
where you
business
need to,
side
like,
of show
the
business.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a joke about, they say, I'm going to butcher this, but sometimes say that, I live in California and there's going to be an earthquake, and I'm traveling around. Somebody's like, I hope there is an earthquake and California falls into the ocean. And I go, yo, dog, and he says the bad word, all my crap's out there. Like the fact that all he cares about is his stuff.
Yeah.
And he's dressed like he clearly has nothing. So it's just like, what are we talking about? Used paper towel rolls? Oh, man. It's so funny. All my crap's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that bit's so funny.
It's funny because Peter is so clean. He has,
Yeah.
it's fairly profound
meticulous.
autism.
He's got backup
and
Windex and everything. He's ready to go.
He has 4 Windexes in case there's an earthquake. And, you drive around in David Waite's car, and it's just like empty water bottles. It's like a recycling bin.
I feel like there's some fast food rappers, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't want to throw him under the bus too much,
David
Waite,
he's not listening to this.
he's not.
But if you
but
listen to this,
is-
guys, give him if he comes into town, definitely go buy a ticket. You will not be
He's so
disappointed.
funny.
If he comes to perform at your local YMCA or Chicken Coop, wherever the heck he's
Yeah.
performing now.
Mhm.
Oh, he's so funny. But JJ's good, man. Little call today. He's clearly balding, and it's it's always unusual for me. But
Does it intimidating knowing that your son has more testosterone than you?
it just is like, how old am I where my son's bald? I mean, I can't be young if my own kids are old men.
Yeah. Peter gave himself a really bad haircut. And I was always like, Pete's got pretty thick hair, And he gave himself he did the thing where he just cut his bangs because it was to get it out of his hair.
His face, his eyes.
And he looked crazy. So he had to go to I made him go to a barber and get it fixed. And the way they fixed it is by basically buzzing his hair, with a 3-year-old, leaving it like an inch long kind of thing.
Yeah, for summer cut, like go to camp.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But he's like receding now,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, oh yeah, we're getting old.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
Now, what does he give you any follow up with the New York trip? Sorry, I kind of cut you off. Does he follow up with the New York trip? Like, I want to come back. Is he talking about setting anything else up or what?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I told him that Greg Stone was sad that he didn't get to meet Peter when he was here.
Yeah.
And Peter was like, "Oh, that would be nice, but maybe we just didn't have time."
Nice.
He's very practical about these things. He was happy to meet all my friends in the park. A bunch of my friends were having a park hang, and I walked my family by. And Peter locked on to 2 people. And then one of them, Maddie Litwack, funny comic. And then Maddie came to my one-man show, and he learned all. It was really cool to have met Peter and then see the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Added context.
No, I just think that means he's going to have to move in with you. You guys are like the odd couple. It'd be great. Perfect.
Well,
it's
going to happen. It's going to happen one day. Pete and me, we're going to be roommates one day. We're going to be...
Let's just hope, though, that comedy has good success so your roommate's in a 5,000 square foot house, not a studio apartment.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen maybe is I'll have to live in his building in a different apartment. He'll be like my Kramer.
Oh, that's not a bad move. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll pop in some poor girl's in her undergarments. I'm Graham's brother. If you ever get tired of Graham, I'm here.
Well, good thing about moving in with my brother, or moving in the same building as my brother, if I ever have to move back to Ottawa to take care of him once my parents pass of natural causes, or I kill them.
Natural causes. That's what we're going for.
Natural causes. That's natural causes.
It's natural. It drove me crazy. I naturally had to do it.
Yeah. Listen, matricide is natural. Anyway, it would be really. It's one advantage of living in the same building as Peter, or even in the same city, is I will have a laundry service.
Ooh.
Yeah. If I move to Ottawa and live in the same building as Peter, I will never have to do laundry again. I will have a man pleading pleading to do my laundry. I
Now-
won't get it. I won't have enough dirty laundry.
Does he separate the cleans from the whites from the coloreds?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But do any of us really,
Well, you're a fancy man. I assumed you did. And
I do. I use bleach and
Should
but
we?
for everything will I don't care. Everything will be pink and gray. I don't care. No laundry. I don't care. I'll be living in Ottawa. No, everyone dresses like crap there anyway.
You'll fit right in. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did enjoy Ottawa, though. I had a fun time out there, man. Very nice people.
Ottawa is beautiful. The people are fantastic.
Shockingly diverse. Way more diverse than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, my high school was like half below half, like 45% white.
So
everyone
only,
was
only 45% right. I get it. Okay.
I said white. Well, you are from Texas. No, it's like Sri Lankan and Filipino and a lot of Somalians. A lot of Somalians came over in the early 90s. Something happened over there.
Oh, that's one way to put it. Something definitely
You
happened.
wacky Americans, you went over there, and then we got a whole...
Well, in fairness,
We got really good food in Ottawa.
Yeah, in fairness, we tried to break up a fight, which is always we always get blamed. But anyway,
No, that's fair.
that one was a good one. In Africa. Listen, there's no oil. There's nothing out there. We don't have to break up a fight. Two people that we can't tell apart, but they hate each other.
I'll tell you what. We are not scientists on this podcast.
No, but we have a good science article.
We are not political scientists either. And I apologize for bringing something up I don't know anything about. But we do read, you're correct, scientific articles
Ooh.
written by real journalists
Great
who
segue.
talk to scientists. Anyway, Kirk found this article. He read the entire thing. We recorded it, and I deleted it. So now it's
Flawlessly.
my turn. It's my... It was. I'm not joking, and Kirk's not joking when... This is true.
It was a
when
good
he read
episode, honestly. That's one of the reasons I was upset. Sometimes they're
I know.
clunkers, I'll be honest. Sometimes guys, we
Yes.
do our best. They're not great. And then sometimes it's
Yeah.
in person. There's good chemistry. We both slept pretty well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, and that was one of them, and I commented several times, wow, Kirk, you're really reading this well.
And now I'm going to have to delete it so there's no proof.
There's no proof, and I I must be in the limelight.
This sounds like a Machiavellian plan here.
This is a tough, I'm doing this for you. I'm reading it this time because this is a tough article, and if I do recall, it's a long boy.
It's a long one, and there's 2 or 3 made-up words. Not made up, but they sound made up.
Assembloids.
Assembloids.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. This is from NPR.
JJ's mom's
and it's
favorite station.
Written, hey, I love it too. Written by John Hamilton. Brain cells interrupted. How some genes may cause autism, epilepsy, and schizophrenia. A team of researchers has developed a new way to study how genes may cause autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders by growing tiny brain-like structures in a lab and tweaking their DNA. These assembloids, described in the journal Nature, could one day help researchers develop targeted treatments for autism spectrum disorder, intellectual disability, schizophrenia, and epilepsy. This really accelerates our effort to try to understand the biology of psychiatric disorders, says Dr. Segu Peshka, a professor of psychiatry and behavioral sciences at Stanford University and an author of the study. The research suggests that someday we'll be able to predict which pathways we can target to intervene and prevent these disorders, adds Christian Bernard, a professor of psychiatry at Yale, who is not involved in the work. The study comes after decades of work identifying hundreds of genes that are associated with autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders, but scientists still don't know how problems with these genes alter the brain. The challenge now is to figure out what they're actually doing, how disruptions in these genes are actually causing disease, Pasha says. And that has been really difficult. It sounds difficult, Pasha. For ethical reasons, that's my little editorializing. For ethical reasons, scientists can just edit a person's genes to see what happens. They can experiment on animal brains, but lab animals like rodents don't really develop anything that looks like autism or schizophrenia. It'd be funny to see a schizophrenic rat. You're like, is he eating? Is this
cheese?
eating that
Is this cheese?
garbage?
Is this cheese?
Yeah, because they're schizophrenic, or are they just eating garbage? So Pasha and a team of scientists tried a different approach, which they detailed in their new paper. The team did a series of experiments using tiny clumps of human brain cells called brain organoids. These clumps, will grow for a year or more in a lab, gradually organizing their cells much the way developing brain would. And by exposing an organoid to certain growth factors, scientists can coax it into resembling tissue found on brain areas, including a cortex and hippocampus. We can actually make different parts of the nervous system in a dish from stem cells, Pasha says. When these parts are placed in the same dish, they will even form connections, much like actual brain, and the resulting structure is called assembloid.
That's the other fake word, yeah.
Yeah. Pasha's team, thought they could use assembloids to study how developmental disorder genes affect special brain cells called interneurons, which are thought to play a role in several psychiatric disorders. During the pregnancy and the first 2 years of life, these special cells must complete a remarkable journey. Interneurons are born in deep regions of the brain, and they have to migrate all the way to the cortex, Pasha says. So you can imagine that during the migration, a lot of things could go awry, and you'll end up like me. Pasha's team stimulated the migration of interneurons by creating assembloids containing two types of organoids. One assembled an area deep in the brain called subpalama, where most interneurons are generated. And other organoid resembled the cerebral cortex, where the interneurons are supposed to end up. That was a tough sentence for me. Here we go.
I think for everybody.
And then we put them together, allowing the interneurons to move towards the cerebral cortex, he says. The process worked just the way it's supposed to in assembling containing typical organoids. So next, the team used a gene editing technique called CRISPR to alter the organoids. We've talked about that before.
A bunch of times, yeah.
This approach allowed the team to study the effect of more than 400 genes associated with neurodevelopmental disorders, and they found that 46 of these genes were involved in either the generation of interneurons or with their migration. Knock out a part of those genes and interneurons no longer arrive where they're supposed to, and the cerebral cortex interneurons serve as inability neurons, which means they act a bit like the brake in a car. The interneurons can release a neurotransmitter that tells other neurons to reduce their activity. Meanwhile, excitatory neurons act as the accelerator, telling other cells to become more active. Brain networks rely on a delicate balance between excitatory and inhibitory neurons. Too much acceleration and the result can be epileptic seizure. Too much brake and the vital information may get lost or delayed. The study is important because it offers a way for scientists to study the effect of many genes at the same time and identify the ones that affect a particular type of cell or cell function during the brain development, says Dr. Guling Ming, a professor of neuroscience at the University of Pennsylvania,
You nailed that
Perelman
name.
School of Medicine. Thank
Yeah.
you. The research also shows clearly how gene variants could lead to autism or some other neurodevelopmental disorder by disturbing interneurons. That would be a disaster in the developing brain, Ming says. The circuitry would be wrong, and the signaling would be wrong, and ultimately the brain functioning would be wrong. Ming, who is not connected with the study, says her lab would like to use the combination of assembloids and CRISPR in their own research on schizophrenia, another psychiatric disorder with neurodevelopmental origin. Pasha's study could help brain scientists make the sort of advances that cancer researchers have in the past decade, says Bernard. 30 years ago, we might have thought all intestinal cancers should be treated the same way, and all lung cancer should be treated the same way, she says. Now we know a lot better. Instead of choosing treatments according to location of a cancer, doctors study tumors' genes, determine which therapy is most likely to work. A similar approach could eventually help people with autism spectrum disorder, epilepsy, schizophrenia, Bernard said. This improved genetic understanding will let us do better, she says, because we'll know which pathways we can target to intervene. Kirk, what do you think?
That's interesting. Excuse me. We've talked about this in the past, that the connection between autism and schizophrenia, and I believe we talked about the connection between bipolar and I honestly think that there's going to be a way to, if the issue is the connections between the different parts of the brain, I do think, now they say that Alzheimer's is because there's some plaque that develops on the brain, like this, like little bit of goo or whatever.
Plaque.
Yeah, plaque. Yeah. So I think that it's promising in the fact that I think there might be some sort of treatment for some types of autism. Again, we've talked about if you meet one person with autism, you meet one person with autism. My son is on the very, very severe side, but if we could get him over to closer to where Peter's at, that'd be a big win too. To get him to where he can work and he's living alone and yeah. So I think it's going to happen.
Really, yeah. I mean, it's obviously a sticky situation.
The plaque, hey, good word play.
Hey, because it's like your son deserves to be able to be more independent, but
of course.
If somebody like quote unquote fixed my brother, I don't know if I'd like that. I would miss my brother. It would be a different guy.
Right.
So,
but also I feel like your brother is, in my opinion, has enough wherewithal to make that decision himself. So if it comes around that there's this treatment, you could ask him. We think this might make you more like this. Do you want to do this? Do you not want? And so I think it'd be his call. Because if he goes, I would really like to be able to be, talk to women more, or if you explain, if you do this, you might be able to understand a little bit more of the things that you don't understand now. And if he goes, nah, I'm good, okay. But if he goes, I'm curious that. I mean, it'd be bad to keep it from him, I think. I don't know.
I don't think he could fully comprehend, to be honest.
Right.
I think he would choose whatever we sway him towards.
But, I mean, don't we all do that?
My parents and me.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess, sure.
I mean, we're all so subject to our environment and I don't want to get into a vaccine talk or anything, but we all just trust people and we do what we think is best. I mean, none of us really understand. I don't know. I can't tell you how my phone works. I hold it up and I push buttons, Yeah. I'm not a big Joe Rogan fan, but he has one funny joke. I think this was Joe's, where he goes, everybody says they're independent men. Yeah, how independent are you? If I send you in the forest with an axe, how long would it take you to come back with a cell phone? Just like, pretty funny. We're all very dependent on, everybody around us and people explaining things, and so yeah. But if your parents are like, listen, we're getting older, we think this might help you to be more independent when we're gone. I mean, that's a strong argument.
No, for sure. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't have it.
And if you know what the right answer is, send us a quick email or message, autasticpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on our old Facebook. That's still out there. You can also email us directly. I'm at kirksmithcomedy@gmail. Get on my mailing list. I'm coming to towns all over the country. This week was Hotlanta, and it was actually really beautiful. It's 59 degrees today.
Beautiful time to go.
Very nice. Beautiful town. A lot of very nice people. This is kind of funny. Andy Stanley is a very famous, maybe arguably one of the most famous Christian pastors. and he pastors maybe the top communicator of our generation, and he pastors in Atlanta. Well, he has a grown adult son who is a stand-up comedian, and he was in the festival. It's kind of funny. And I called my dad, and I'm like, listen, Andy Stanley's son is a comic, and I'm sure he's as excited about it as you are. Because my dad is a pastor, and he doesn't. I'm not sure he understands stand-up comedy, but yeah, it's pretty funny. Graham, go ahead. Sorry.
What does your dad think of you doing stand-up?
This is a good story. This is true. First time he ever saw me do stand-up, I was at the Comedy Cellar, Comic Strip, excuse me, which is if you don't know, it's a good club in New York City. It's it's a club where Jerry Seinfeld started and Eddie Murphy started. You know, it's not nothing. And I was hosting. It's probably 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And Tom Papa was on the show. I think Colin Jost. It was a good show. It was like legit, strong headliners in comics. And I had a great set. And as we're leaving, it's over, and they're walking out. And the way the comic strip is set up in the lobby, there are TVs set up, and it was summer, and it was July, and as we're leaving, my mom goes, "That was great, Kirk," and my dad looks at me and then looks up the TV and goes, "Oh, the NBA playoffs are on," and we sat down and watched the NBA playoffs. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but I think he's come around a little bit since
Are you sure my dad wasn't there?
So,
oh well.
I often tell my dad, I'm not sure you understand what jokes are. He's very serious. He's very disciplined, but he's coming around. He's coming around. It's just
it's tough. It's tough for that generation.
It's tough, and he actually built things. He built a large school of 5,000 people, like actual stuff from zero. So then, and I'm building premises and punchlines, which is I understand. It's a very
You're making people happy.
I am bringing joy to people.
Life.
That's how I see it. Yeah. But it was funny. Andy Stanley's
Yeah.
kid's there too, so it's kind of funny. What do you got this week? You got any shows? What do you got besides the autism
I'm
stuff?
just doing my show in New York. Come check it out as always, and follow me on Instagram and all the other little things. If you could, share my clips or whatever, that helps. But yeah, thanks for listening. You guys are great.
I do want to
Kirk.
say one quick thing. October 21st, I'm doing 22nd, excuse me. I'm in California doing a benefit for a buddy of mine's opening up an autism center in Kingman, California, and we're doing some fundraisers for it. And so if you are around, or if you're just curious in California and you're looking for a place for your kid, this would be an option. Or if you want to reach out and if you're secretly rich and would like to donate to his, he was a pastor for 50 years, Bill Matthews in California, in San Ramon, and they're building this out in Kingman, California, kind of out in the desert where it's cheap. And they've built the first 2 houses. They've got several acres. They're building some more. It's just something to keep it if your kid's coming up and you're in that area and you want to that would have coming up in my area when my kid was little. That would have been a relief. It was not. It's just brand new. So it's But that's what I got going on.
As always, let's. Oh my God, Kirk, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Kirk. Oh my God.
It's not recording?
I didn't hit record.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. It's blinking the whole time. Just kidding. Got you. Bye-bye, everybody.
You definitely got me because I was like, yeah, it's possible knowing this guy.
All right.
Kirk Smith Comedy on all your social medias. Have a great week, guys. You can do it. You got me, you son of a gun.